I agree with Charles Barkley. He said Ben Simmons needs to get his butt back in Philly because dude's got no leverage. How can a guy who passed up an open dunk in a Game 7 with 4 years left have a trade demand list? But honestly, Chuck is talking from like an old school perspective. Back in his day, players could just demand trades, you know, like he did in Philly in 1992, and get it done. We've seen Anthony Davis do this recently, James Harden, of course, with 2 years left on his deal. But this era of player empowerment has never seen Ben's situation. A guy with 4 years left has never gotten his wish. But maybe this new era of player empowerment is that crazy. But some of the trades that people have offered are ridiculous. The T-Wolves want to send Malik Beasley and picks. Is that a joke? The Sixers want a superstar type player in return, so to up his trade value, Simmons needs to wear a Philly jersey again. He needs to get on the court and show people he's not afraid of the basketball. Then teams will remember, oh yeah, he's a 3-time All-Star, all-defense guy, just 25 years old. But apparently that's not gonna happen. A report says that the Sixers owners flew to LA to meet with Ben, and he told them, I don't wanna play for your team anymore. I will not report to camp, and it's not my job to rehab my trade value. And that's honestly why I hope Ben doesn't get his wish. He's such like a selfish jerk. It's like, dude, have some self-awareness. Like, you did this to yourself. You need to get yourself out of it. But at the very least, it is his job to play basketball. Like, literally, he's getting paid $30 million a year to do that. The truth is, if Ben wants to go to one of these contenders he's asking for, they need to see more from him. I thought Bill Simmons had a great point on his podcast. He said that Ben needs to go on an interview with some media member and just like plead his side of things, right? Ben needs to say, look, the Sixers tried to trade me for James Harden and it messed with my confidence. I'm a victim here. I tried to be a team player and come back, but I was playing angry and that's just not who I am. Once things went sideways in the playoffs, my confidence got even worse. Last year was a mess for me because of the trade talk, but that's not who I am. I think if he goes on some show and actually says that, people will go, okay, fine, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. That combined with him actually getting on the court and showing he's not a bum would have teams like the Warriors get involved. But actually, this dude shouldn't go to a contender if he wants to have the best career he can. He needs a team that doesn't have other stars. He needs a team that will build around him, right? He needs like Giannis's situation with the Bucks. Every single thing the Bucks do have Giannis in mind. The fact that Ben won't shoot makes him an awkward fit on most teams, but if he could just distribute, defend, and score in transition for a team that built around him, Simmons could be an all-star again. I think the #1 team for him is the Spurs. Not only do they need a star franchise player, Greg Popovich will hold him accountable. When Brett Brown said, oh, I'm gonna bench Ben if he doesn't shoot, that was an empty threat. Pop is one of the only coaches with the job security to actually bench Ben Simmons. I also think the development coaches in San Antonio are top notch. They taught Kawhi Leonard how to come into the league as a below average shooter and now taught him to be one of the best in the league. Plus, I think being out of the big city spotlight is exactly what Ben's mentality needs. But will Ben Simmons actually report to Philly? Well, this number actually made me go, Things that make you go, Under CBA rules, any player who refuses to play could be suspended and forfeit 1/145th of his salary. And because Ben is on a max contract, that means he would give up $227,613 a day. I mean, how long could he keep that up? I know dude is rich, but $250,000 a day? Even missing a week would be too much money for me. I don't care how much money I would have in the bank. That is insane. And this isn't like other holdouts that we've seen. I mean, recently, 2 guys have tried to pull this on their team. Jimmy Butler in Minnesota, James Harden in Houston. Now, Butler got pissed that his T-Wolf teammates didn't care about winning. He told the GM, trade me. And he got his wish after Minnesota started 3-6. We all know Harden did show up eventually. He was fat, didn't play hard. The Rockets started 3-6, and then they traded him to Brooklyn. But the difference between those two guys and Simmons is that Ben is not his team's best player, right? So when the Rockets and the T-Wolves sucked, they were like, oh, we have to get a deal done to hopefully save our season. The Sixers' best player is Joel Embiid. They're going to be fine without Ben Simmons until the playoffs at least. They'll have a core of Embiid, Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, Matisse Thybulle, and Tyrese Maxey. Obviously, they'll take a hit on defense, but as long as Joel is healthy, they'll be a top 4 seed. They can just sit back and watch Simmons' bank account get less and less. Plus, Embiid, who threw Simmons under the bus to the media when they lost in the playoffs, he's trying to repair the relationship. He actually tweeted, "Stop using my name to push people's agendas. I love playing with Ben. Stats don't lie, he's an amazing player, and we all didn't get the job done. It's on me personally. I hope everyone is back because we know we're good enough to win." But at the same time, we all know that's just trying to get Ben back to camp to trade him. So what is the most realistic scenario here with Ben Simmons? Well, if he's going to get traded before the season, it might be to the Timberwolves because Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard have not demanded a trade. And we know that's Philly's first choice, right? But Minnesota is in active talks and they feel like a good fit. Embiid can hit threes, but Karl Anthony Towns is a true stretch 5. They've got D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards to create shots and take over late so Ben doesn't have to. But they don't want to trade any of those 3 guys. What do they expect? Of course they're going to have to deal Cat, Ant, or D'Lo. I think if they have to, it's going to be D'Angelo Russell. He's the worst of that big 3, and he's a true point guard, which the Sixers are looking for. Is D'Lo one of the biggest fake all-stars in the league? Yeah, but Daryl Morey says he wants an all-star. Russell may be the best he could get. And by the way, since when did the Timberwolves feel like they can make guys untouchable? I mean, how did they do in the playoffs last year? Oh, that's right, they missed the postseason for the 16th time in 17 years. Even without D'Lo, the T-Wolves would be really good with Ben Simmons. His defense is exactly what they're missing, and offense is already taken care of late with Cat and Ant. In Philly, Russell is not the point guard that they really wanted, but he's a lot better than what they have right now. And offensively, he's a great fit with Embiid. Obviously, the big problem with D'Lo is defense. He's consistently one of the worst defenders in the league, and that will hurt the most in the playoffs when teams would just attack D'Lo over and over. But there are reasons to think that it gets done. First off, point guard is exactly what Philly needs. Second, they have a new ownership group led by Alex Rodriguez. Normally, new owners, like they're in Minnesota, want to make a big splash. Obviously, A-Rod would. And third, the T-Wolves front office guy, Gerson Rosas, learned the job under Daryl Morey in Houston. The two have been great friends for years, so getting a deal done is probably easier between those two more than any other front office in the league. Again, I think Ben Simmons, though, deserves all the hate that he gets right now, but not Tyler Hero. And I know I pointed out his flaws in the past, but what I just saw, the hate that he's gotten recently, it's gone way too far.